The Egghead Island incident is nearing its end, and after weeks of flashbacks, we finally return to the present day where a certain character has made his unexpected appearance. Spoilers for chapter 1103 of One Piece if you haven't read it. But with the conclusion of Kuma's backstory, we rejoin Bonnie and Vegapunk, where he gives her a sapphire necklace and comments on the sheer coincidence of both Bonnie and Luffy arriving at Egghead Island together. Vegapunk then apologizes to Bonnie for the hand he played in Kuma's demise, with Bonnie saying that Vegapunk isn't wrong and the real villain is Saturn. Flash forward to present day where we see Saturn is still holding Bonnie in his hands and everyone else is being held down by Saturn's power. Bonnie tries to fight Saturn and uses her power from before distorted future and creates a giant Nika fist, but it quickly fizzles out and loses power. This is where we find out that Saint Saturn was the one responsible for Bonnie having her power. See, Saturn ran experiments on Bonnie when she was a child. They wanted to find out whether or not you could give someone devil fruit powers by extracting it from the fruit and infusing it into someone afterwards. This was probably a precursor experiment that led to the Seraphim's green blood. Saturn then goes on to explain that Bonnie's abilities allow her to transform into a state of any future that she perceives possible, which is actually broken as hell when you think about it. This essentially limits the capabilities of Bonnie's fruit to whatever she can imagine, a lot like how the powers of the Nika fruit work, both relying on the user's imagination and willpower. Saturn even says when Bonnie's fist deflates that she doesn't understand the truth behind the name Nika, and the reason why her powers failed is because of the fruit's drawback. Once her future becomes more certain, the possibilities that she can transform into become more limited, which is why in Bonnie's current state of despair, she starts to lose faith in the belief of Nika, mainly because she hasn't realized that Luffy is Nika. Saturn also reveals that Ginny, Bonnie's mother, was designated the term wife number 8 in Marie Joie and was part of his drug experiments, and the sapphire scale disease that she contracted was a side effect of that. However, he deemed her a failure and was surprised that Bonnie contracted the disease from her mother. I mean, goddamn, Oda, you really got the Gorosei out here openly talking about human experimentation on women and children. I bet they'd be great friends with Sukuna. But Saturn goes on to justify all of this by saying, look at it from his perspective. You do not empathize with the emotions of the insects you crush. The way he refers to humans and the fact that Bonnie's power did not work on him all but confirms that the current Gorosei are immortal. But whilst all of this is happening, two major events occur that will change the current situation of the Straw Hats drastically. The first one being Luffy getting food. I'm not joking. While Saturn is explaining Bonnie's powers, we cut to a panel and Luffy is stuffing himself with an immense amount of food. I mean, bro has gained more arms just to eat faster. The question is, how did Luffy get this food? Everyone was pinned down and unable to move. So who could have been fast enough to get Luffy the food he needs to make his comeback? I believe that it was Admiral Kizaru. After Luffy knocked some sense into him, he started thinking about Bonnie and Sentomaru whilst laying on the ground. And in the next panel that we see him, he's sitting up and muttering to himself. But Gear 5 still needs time to reload, and Saturn has decided that Bonnie no longer needs her life. So who comes crashing down from the sky onto the island to save the day? None other than Bartholomew Kuma himself. Why or how he's here, no one knows, but he defeats the Marines surrounding everyone and then saves Bonnie before Saturn can end her, and prepares an armament haki coated fist for Saturn's face, and the chapter ends right there. But with the arrival of Kuma, Goda is definitely cooking, and now the end of the Egghead Island incident is kind of up in the air. We got 4 wild cards in this chapter that's going to decide the fate of the arc. The first is Kizaru. If he aligns with Vegapunk and the Straw Hats, the end of Egghead Island would be like. The other is that Blackbeard ship sitting on the outside of Egghead Island. Oda showed us this damn near 6 months ago and hasn't done anything since. I doubt Blackbeard himself is on that ship, and maybe they might do nothing, but let me know if you all want another video on that. Other two would be Kuma once again sacrificing himself and sending the Straw Hats, Bonnie and Vegapunk away from the island. Saturn would probably kill him and blame it on Luffy, because don't forget Saturn had Vegapunk install a remote self-destruct device within Kuma. Wait, was it remote? Correct me if I'm wrong. The last one, which is my favorite, is the arrival of Monkey D. Dragon. You see, in this chapter we get a panel of Dragon and Ivankov speaking with each other, and Dragon is asking Eva where does he think Kuma is gonna go. Eva says that he would go to Marie Joie for some payback, but they both agree that they know Kuma is different and he wouldn't really do that. If Dragon can truly see across the seas with his observation haki, he could also make a last minute appearance on Egghead Island, which I don't care if it's headcanon, we need dragon feats. So please, Oda, please. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and follow and subscribe for more great content. See you guys.